Hey, so you are moving to Austin, or maybe you already live in Austin and you're thinking about buying a home and you're trying to decide what part of town you want to be in. Do you want to be south? Do you want to be north? Do you want to be central? It doesn't matter, because today we're talking about the north side of Austin. So we're going to talk about the pros and cons of North Austin. Before we begin, I like to share in every single video that I do that I work with people from all over the country and all over the world. And if you're thinking about buying or selling a home and want to connect, my contact information is below. Contact me, or if you want to set up a one-on-one Zoom call directly with me, also follow the link in the description. So with that, let's jump in. As you probably already know from the title of the video, we are going to talk about the pros and cons of North Austin. Austin is a fairly large city just in its actual land mass, so I want to be more specific about what we're going to be talking about. So I'm going to get my map so that we can specify exactly what we're going to be talking about. So if we look here on the screen, the portion of North Austin that I'm going to be addressing for this video is here kind of north of Highway 290, including 35, including Mopac, going west to kind of about 360, and going north to Toll Road 45, and including that lovely cookie-shaped piece of Austin for this video. That was verbose and cumbersome, but you have a visual, so you know what I'm saying. So let's get started. Real quick, before we get started, make sure to watch this video all the way to the end, because I have a bonus piece of information that a lot of people don't know about the north side of Austin. And it's juicy, it's delicious, it's fantastic, and I think it's gonna be unexpected, so just watch the video all the way to the end. Let's go. So to start with, we're going to talk about the cons or the negative parts about living in North Austin. And before I jump into that, I just want to say I'm very biased. This is not an unbiased video. I've honestly lived in North Austin in several different neighborhoods on the north side since 2016. How many years is that? 7? So I like it a lot. I personally don't see a lot of negatives, and I feel like most of my friends are on the north side too. And I even asked them for this video, what are negative things that you just hate about the north side? And they couldn't come up with many, and I couldn't either. And I do have a few to make this video fair. So let's start. Con number 1 is North Austin, along with the rest of Austin, has gotten a bit, I would say, commercialized or very polished. And I do think that's pretty much true in any like hotspot in Austin that you might go to. We've seen it on the south side, we've seen it in the downtown area. Lots of areas have become gentrified, and of course, the north side is no exception. The reason North Austin has become so popular over the last 7-8 years primarily is, number 1, we have a lot of IT campuses on the north side, and number 2 is the Domain. I personally really love the Domain, and I've talked about the Domain in tons of other videos. But there's a lot of people that don't love it because it's a lot of big box stores that have made Austin more of like a normal American city instead of the quirky, hippie, earthy, weird little town that it used to be. And unfortunately, a lot of that's gone. I will say culturally, people are still quirky, they're still friendly, they're very welcoming. So we have that still, but it has kind of washed away the feel of the grunginess that Austin used to be, and it's become a lot more refined, which I think just goes hand in hand with a growing city, but it's honestly been kind of sad to see that. And the reason I brought up the Domain is because it's this huge outdoor shopping area, and it's beautiful, and it's clean, and it's safe, and there's lots of things to do. You can go shopping there, you can get coffee, you can go to lunch there, there's bars, there's nightclubs. It's a very vibrant pocket that's close to all the IT campuses, and then it attracts people to be on the north side, because living on the north side is now a lot more convenient. So really, depending on how you look at it, the north side has become a bit more polished and more commercialized, if you will, largely because of the Domain. The second con of living in North Austin is traffic. And again, to be fair, you'll find traffic anywhere in Austin. When there's no traffic, which is very rare, but when there is no traffic or very little traffic, it's very easy to move around the city and get pretty much anywhere in 15 to 20 minutes, no joke. However, when there is traffic and you're just trying to get from point A to point B, even if you're only trying to stay in the north side of Austin, it can literally take 30 to 40 minutes sometimes. Depending on where you are in North Austin, there's like 3 or 4 major arteries or main roads that run east and west that will get you from one side of North Austin to the other. The main ones are Howard Lane, Palmer Lane, and then Breaker Lane. They run east and west. Even though they have traffic lights and everything, traffic generally moves along. When there's traffic, you can literally just be sitting there bumper to bumper at a traffic light for 20 minutes and not go anywhere. And it can be infuriating. It's very, very frustrating. But like I said, the traffic dilemma is applicable pretty much any part of Austin, and even multiple Austin suburbs. The cost of living in North Austin has gone up pretty significantly over the last couple of years, like literally anything else. But the thing is, for instance, Northwest Austin and even North Central Austin have always been pricier, especially Northwest Austin. For instance, the 360 neighborhood, that area has always been a little bit bougier. It's got highly rated schools. It's in a really good location. There's tons to do around there. And it was already expensive, I would say 3-4 years ago, and now it's even more expensive. If you want to be in Northwest Austin, it's really hard to get a decent home for under about $800,000 or so. Even if we look at some of the North Central neighborhoods, for instance, like Wells Branch, which is located just between Mopac and IH-35, that used to be a very affordable neighborhood. It was very common that you could get maybe an 1,800 square foot home, cute, ready to go, for $275,000, $300,000, and now that same home is going to be anywhere from about $500,000, maybe $550,000. So it's not the most expensive area, for example, but it has become a lot more expensive. And I think really because the North Side has always just been more desirable and more established. And also now that the North Side has the Domain, there's so much more to do and there's so many more people that flock to that area. Okay, so let's talk about the pros or the positives of living in North Austin. The first point completely contradicts and goes against my first negative point, which is it is near to the Domain. Like I mentioned, the Domain has been responsible for so much growth and so much demand on the north side of Austin. And if you are on the north side of Austin, most neighborhoods are within a 15-minute drive to the Domain. Like I said, I personally think the Domain is glorious. It's clean, you can walk around, there's all sorts of stuff to do. You can even just sit there like a total creep and people watch all day if that's what you're into, and nobody will care. And at the end of the day, it's a super convenient place for people to go and hang out. There's lots of coffee shops, restaurants, there's a couple co-working spaces there as well. And since so many people do work remotely, you do see a lot of people that will go there during the morning into the afternoon hours and just with their laptop and they're working on a project. And it's nice because you get a change of scenery, you can go up, you can go to Whole Foods for lunch, and you've got quite a few options. Pro number 2, the north side of Austin, though it has become more expensive over the last couple years, does have a pretty wide variety of price ranges and style of homes. So if you want, for instance, a little older townhome that's kind of in the Great Hill area, you can get that for about $450. And maybe if you're looking for a bungalow, for instance, with a cute little yard and 2 or 3 bedrooms, just something cute, little low maintenance that's close to the Domain, you can get that for about $450 as well. Now, if you're really looking to establish deeper roots and raise your family and looking for a neighborhood with highly rated schools, the Cat Mountain might be a better area. Located in Northwest Austin, it's super scenic, it's super beautiful. It's also a lot more expensive. Entry price for that area is probably just under about $1 million or so. But there's a lot of different styles of home there. You can find ranch style homes there that were built in the 70s that were completely remodeled, or you can get a home that is literally built on the edge of the canyon and the backyard looks at the big, beautiful green canyon in Northwest Austin. All of that to say is that there is a ton of variety in price range and style of home and the type of neighborhood that you could choose from. Okay, so before I get to the next point in my pros and cons list, thank you for watching to this point, and I'm going to reveal the secret with you right now. Okay, one of the final positive points of the north side that I think a lot of people don't necessarily expect, especially if they are not from here, is the fact that North Austin, particularly Northwest Austin, is so scenic and green and lush and beautiful. And sometimes you drive through these neighborhoods and you see these beautiful canopies of trees that just like lean over the road, and it's almost like each of these trees wants to tell you a story. It's very beautiful, it's very unique, and I think for a lot of people it's really unexpected. A lot of times when folks think about Texas, they just think of deserts and tumbleweeds and cowboys, which doesn't exist, well, not in Austin. But the north side of Austin has some very, very lush neighborhoods. Even on the northeast side, we have Walnut Creek Park, which has 4 different trails within the park. Even when I go there, I see people that are running, they're on walks, they're walking their dog, they're there with the kids in the stroller. They'll be biking. Sometimes I see kids on skateboards. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to do just on the north side. And if you love being outdoors, it's a great place to be. The next point on my list is the fact that most IT campuses in Austin are located on the north side of town. For instance, we have Dell, which is in Round Rock. We have Apple, which is located on Palmer Lane. General Motors has a campus on Howard. Indeed has a campus at the Domain. Amazon is also located located at the domain, which is North Central. And the list goes on, but those are kind of the main ones that make up the body of Austin technology companies. I hope you took a lot away from this video and that you are potentially considering the north side of Austin to call home. It's a really wonderful place to live. Like everywhere, there are pros and cons, but I really wanted to be as transparent and honest with you as possible. So if you still have questions, leave a comment. Also, if you're thinking about buying or selling a home on the north side, contact me. My contact information is in the description below. You can also schedule a one-on-one Zoom call directly with me. Anyway, I'm Daphne Quay, your boss lady realtor. Thanks so much for watching. Till next time.